What's up, everybody? I am on my way to visit my friend Brad. He's in town over at his mom's. I guess they're hanging out at a pool or something. So it's gonna be a towpath ride north up to Broadview Heights, where I'll cut over to Valley Parkway, and a little bit of a busy road, but it should only be for less than a mile. So we'll see how it all goes. Yeah, I haven't really ridden that far north on the towpath since the eclipse. It's a beautiful morning. Man, it's only low 60s right now, so really pleasant. Good day for a little bit of a longer ride. I might, through the national park, ride on the roads. We'll just have to see how crowded the towpath is today. But I think I'm kind of in the mood to hit it at a pretty good pace. So if it's too crowded, I will jump off in the national park. There are also a couple of towpath closures farther north, but I think I'm going to be able to jump off at the trailhead I need before those closures, because even if I ride the roads to the national park, I'll jump back on the path to avoid a couple busy hilly roads.
I've talked about on the channel before how I'm kind of overdoing long rides on my own. This day was different since I was going to be stopping to visit friends and then stopping again to visit family, kind of breaking up the ride a bit. Yeah, it's just those like 50 to 70 to 100 mile rides, just solo all day, just for the sake of riding, that I've kind of lost the motivation for. But we'll see what happens as the summer goes on. You know, a nice weather and longer rides might happen again.
Since I got back from my work trip to Nebraska, dodging tornadoes, doing video, I've been able to ride almost every single day. So finally, big mileage weeks for me. Definitely gonna jump on the road. Only 6 miles in and already been dodging all the walkers, dogs, kids. It's the way it is on the weekends, and I know it, so yeah. There's a good shoulder through the park. Even though the road's not as pretty as the trail, that's just how it is on the weekends.
So on this day, I opted for my Raleigh Tamland 2, a longer solo ride, you know, kind of keeping the pace fairly high. I'm gonna go for the drop bars and the position that this bike can put me in if I want to. It's a thing I like about it. It's fairly comfortable on the tops with these wide titanium bars, but then I could also get down in the drops if I am stuck in the wind solo for a while on a long stretch of road. Even though I really need to get this derailleur hanger fixed.
Used to work 15-hour days on this farm and look at everyone riding by on their bikes having fun. It's kind of nice to be the guy on my bike riding by having fun.
When I was growing up, all the roads around here were actually chip and seal. They were very narrow, they were crowned with drainage ditches and all that. And even though I don't mind riding those kind of roads on my gravel bike, it is nice to now have these smooth roads with the wider shoulder and all that kind of stuff. Because if you are going to ride at any kind of decent speed, I don't feel like you should be out on the towpath on the weekend. You got to be a safe trail user, and it's a mixed-use trail. So again, it's no complaints about the towpath. It's just the fact that it's very popular, and if you want to be moving quick, it just doesn't really work. I do jump back on it here in Peninsula, but that's just because it's the best way through. And so when I'm on the trail, I know I'm going to have to watch out for other people. I'm going to have to slow down if two people are passing. You got to announce yourself and all that kind of thing. Another nice change is there are actually amenities in the valley for cyclists now. A long time ago, there wasn't really any place to stop and get anything.
As much as I didn't want to stop, I realized I better get some snacks and not do my typical just ride myself into the ground and bonk. Gonna jump back on the trail here. It's gonna be a zoo for a little while, but it'll clear up as I get out of Peninsula.
Peninsula is kind of a little tourist town now in the summer. It's completely surrounded by the national park. So you got the Scenic Valley Railroad Station there. The towpath between Peninsula and Boston is really pretty. You have this cool boardwalk here, and then you have the big bridges, the Turnpike Bridge and the 480 Bridge that go over the valley where it's really broad. So just really pretty and kind of a cool scenic view. As mentioned, you just got to be a little more on your toes and be prepared to slow down for people, but not that big of a deal. And it does kind of thin out, as I mentioned, between Boston and Peninsula. There's kind of a gap, so you're going to run into a little less walkers, and it's just as you get in and on either side of the town is where it's going to be a little more crowded. Boston itself now has a lot more going on too, as there's a store to stop at, an art gallery and all that. There wasn't really anything open when I was a kid, or when the Towpath first opened and I was first riding it.
So the trail is supposed to be closed after the bridge I need to take to switch trails, or switch roads, or switch from trail to road. Hopefully that's the case, because it's 2 miles up and I do not want to backtrack, but I don't know. I've been known to jump a fence or two in my day. Cool, that must be where they close it on the weekdays. All right, gonna load my route, even though it's simple, so I don't have to think about it. Then I think we climb Valley Parkway up out of the valley into Broadview Heights. I'm gonna have a little snack and change the GoPro battery. Oh yeah, we have a proper climb here. This is one of those trails, if you're going down the road, so steep, you'll ride on the road. If you're going up the hill, you'll ride on this trail. It's the first actual elevation of the whole ride, really. Just drop down into the valley, then just rode through the canal towpath. Now got to get out of the Cuyahoga Valley.
So what I was saying there is this bike path mirrors Valley Parkway, and with the long, slow climb, I'd rather be over here on the bike path, even though it has more elevation because it goes up and down and curves a little more. But if I was coming the other direction, it actually wouldn't be that safe to be riding on this bike path, or I'd have to kind of be riding the brakes and worried about people coming around corners. So I'd rather be out on the road because I'd be traveling at a speed that is close to the speed limit the cars are supposed to be going. But it's really cool that you do have the option here to do either.
So we went from almost no climbing on this ride, mostly descending, to over 1,000 feet in the last 5 miles. I need a ride like this. It's one of the things, I mostly party pace it these days, or ride with friends, do whatever, but I need to get some of the pushing the pedals rides in a bit, so when I do want to ride with people who are a little stronger than me, it's not as much of a struggle, or they don't have to weight up as much. Now this is our road, and I'm hoping we have a shoulder. Okay, a mile on this road. Shoulder doesn't seem too bad, as long as it stays like this, because it's also the way I'll be going when I leave, but the other direction. Oh, Broadview Brewing Company. Me and Aaron stopped there once. It's a cool spot. Not today, though. All right, we're in the neighborhood. Now I just need to figure out if they're at the pool or if they're at the house. I've never been here before.
Well, that was a lie. I have been here before. But it was winter, it was a Christmas party. I wasn't riding my bike, we were just visiting Brad and his mom. And it must have been a number of years ago, probably pre-pandemic. So you'll forgive me for not exactly remembering where it was.
All right, it says there's no chance of rain, but that is a ominous looking sky. We are on the road again, heading to Mom and Dad. My shoulder got decidedly more narrow here next to this winery.
Even with the narrow shoulder here, I didn't really have any issues. It was still, cars were giving me space. It was actually a little more sparse with traffic than I expected it to be. I thought this was going to be busier. This road gets much busier farther ahead as you get into Richfield and Bath.
Highest point in Summit County. It's the highest point in the overall highest county, but it's not the highest point in the state. You follow? I didn't play soccer long in my life, only when I was pretty little. When I did, this is where it was, and I just turned around to come back and see it because I only actually know it from my memories, and I want to see what it actually looks like. We're right on the edge of downtown Richfield. A lot of memories in this area. I'm guessing nothing was paved back then. Probably all gravel lots or gravel roads, but I don't know. I'll have to ask my parents. So there used to be a row of porta potties over here somewhere. It looks like they have permanent restroom facilities now. And I got stuck in one once. I couldn't get the door unlatched. And you know, we used to roam around. I think there might be some hiking trails in the woods here or something, but you can see it's a big space. I went over by the pond. So it's probably my brother or my sister's game or something going on, and my parents were watching that. No one knew I was in there. I screamed for a long time before someone let me out. Yeah, what a memory. I've drank a number of ales at the Dugout Pub and Grill. Oh yeah, and me and my dad used to do a bike ride when I first got back into riding called the Sweet Corn Challenge. They don't do it anymore, but it started here. So I probably have ridden these roads before. The old town hall. Oh cool, they made this a little park. Used to be an orchard we'd go to when I was a kid. Sit and eat apples by that pond back there. I assumed it was gonna just end up being another neighborhood, but nope. That's nice. Some of the apple trees are actually still mixed in over here by the freeway exit ramp. It's really grown over now. I'd still see them all like twisted and dying from the freeway for a while.
So it was really cool to see my friend Brad. He lives in Columbus now, but we still get together a reasonable amount of times. It just happened that a decent chunk of time had passed since I've seen him last. And we've ridden bikes together. He's been in these videos. He's been on the live streams and all that kind of stuff, but we're pretty much childhood friends. We went to elementary school together and really became good friends again in high school. We traveled a lot together when we were younger too, in our 20s, before we had a family and all that stuff. We've gone all the way out west together to Vegas through Colorado.
Nice big shoulder now though.
The other cool thing is his older brother Ben was there. I haven't seen him in years. When he got out of the car, I said, "Oh, you don't have the kids today?" And he was like, "Tim, my kids are grown." So, man, time just passes so fast, as anyone who's getting a little bit older understands.
Through the worst part of the ride. I come this way once in a while and it sucks. There's just nowhere good to be and you're on an uphill, so you have no speed. I'm out of breath. I'll have to talk about it in a voiceover. Shoulder kind of goes away, but I don't have to ride this section very long. I'm almost to mom and dad's. I forgot crossing that super busy street is never fun either. Or super fast. All right, had a good dinner. Now on my way home. Ridden 44 miles. I think it's probably about 6 more. This will be about a half-century day, but 10 a.m. to, I guess I'll probably get home a little bit before 9.
So a great day, just spending all day on the bike doing some fun things. As you can see, I'm riding with my Swift Zeitgeist, a big old bag, because I have my different layers. As you can see, I've put on at different points from being out this long. Also, now I'm carrying leftovers with me from mom and dad's, where I just don't get the trying to bring a tiny bag with just your tools thing anymore. I don't know why ride like that. I'm riding alone, so that little bit of weight on this kind of ride makes no difference. I just really believe in the idea of being able to be prepared for whatever you may be doing.
All right, another climb out of the valley, and then we're home. Just past 50 miles.
So if you're interested in the ride by the numbers, as some might say, this ended up being about a 54-mile ride, 2,000 feet of elevation, a little under 4 hours of actual rolling time. As I already mentioned, I was pretty much out all day long, though. I do link the Strava of the ride below. Strava's the app I use to track my riding. Love it. But so you could always check it out if you want to ride where I rode or just see what my rides look like on something like this. Don't go to my parents' house, though. That'd be weird. I haven't done one of these vlog style videos in a while, so let me know if it's something you like. I do always like mixing up the content on this channel. I'm still going to do musical ride videos. I'm still going to do topics and builds and stuff like that. But yeah, just let me know what you think. I always appreciate the different feedback I get from you guys.
Edmund's going to be a hungry boy. I had to feed him his lunch early and he's getting his dinner late.
Thanks as always for watching and hitting that like button. A lot of good stuff coming up. There's some new trails we've ridden that I've got videos in the works for. Going to go over my bike packing and bike touring builds as a number of our big trips are coming up. So get subscribed up to see that stuff. Peace.